Oh, hi. I was rolling my neck a little bit because I don't know, for some reason I got pain in the back of my neck. But anyway, hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of On the Line. I'm your host, Kris Avalon, and yes, I'm going to be bringing you a couple of topics that I want to hit at y'all really quick. It's probably going to be no longer than 30 minutes, so we're going to try to keep it short, keep it brief, get all that stuff out there and up and running. So, a couple of topics we're going to be talking about is Saucy Santana versus Rolling Ray. People are dragging Saucy because he went after Rolling Ray and started using his disability as a way of reading and dragging. We're going to just, you'll get our thoughts on whether or not you think he was in the right for it or in the wrong. I'm going to give you my tea, and then EJ's going to come in and give his thoughts. Also, oh yeah, I have something to bring up because I talked about in the previous episode about the Ashanti versus battle with Keisha Cole. I'm going to let you know what's going on with that. Plus, Black China's new boo has a boyfriend. Apparently, she ain't checked the past and his background. She didn't do a background check because a man has a man, and the ex is speaking out. Well, I guess he's an ex now because I got some tea on that. And then also we have a Big Brother star has come out as bisexual, and he's talking about his entanglement with Frankie Grande, yes, brother of Miss Ariana. So we have all that and a whole lot more. But first, we're gonna talk about Roland Ray versus Saucy Santana. I know EJ is gonna jump in on the line on this. I didn't understand what the whole origin of this beef was, but apparently I guess somebody asked asked Saucy if he would include Rolling Ray in I guess one of his songs or video, whatever the case was. And Saucy kind of looked like, why? Like, first of all, Rolling Ray is not an artist. He's not a rapper. I haven't heard him rap. If he has, let me know. He's just somebody who basically jumps on the line and throws shade and reads, and people think it's cute and it's funny because someone who's disabled is out here dragging bitches. So apparently they went back and forth online, and Saucy basically, he has a song called Walk, which is definitely a bop, and it's on the weekly top 40. If you haven't heard that show, you could definitely check that out on alldigitalradio.com. They have that. But yeah, so Roland Ray came in and went on and did a video, whatever, and then there's a song called Walk where he says it's a diss track, but according to one of the members of the City Girls, she said that he wrote that song and put it out a while ago. And I should also point out, Saucy has a new album coming out next week. So this is some shameless self-promotion if that's what the case is. But I'm going to give my thoughts on basically, well, I know we have the video, hopefully it plays. We've been having a little technical difficulties. We did do a run through in the beginning in regards to the video and all that other stuff. But what the question remains is, was Saucy out of line for going at Roland Ray by dragging in his disability? And I feel like if you're a man or woman enough to be roasting and gagging people on social media and throwing shade at people, when it comes to that point, everything is off limits. See, within the LGBTQ community, we have a little something called reading and shade. I know a lot of y'all think, Black women or the members of the Real Housewives and Tamar Braxton and all of them invented shade and reading, but no, honey. That comes from our community. That comes from the Black, gay, ballroom community. Black trans women, gay men, been reading and roasting and all other stuff for years, for ages, for decades. I'm a roast assassin. Like, I will drag a bitch to the point of they're in tears and they want to hang themselves. That's how bad it gets with me. Like, if you come for me, I'm going to IMDb, even though you ain't a nobody, you don't have an IMDb. I'm dragging up all your past bullshit, and I'm going to bring it to you, and I'm going to put it to the point where I'm going to hurt your feelings. So do I think that Saucy was in the wrong? I don't. Because I feel like if you're going to go and roast somebody, then I'm going to come at you. I'm not going to be like, well, that's wrong. You can't go after disabled people, or you can't go after people who got like a club foot or a lazy eye, whatever the case is. But I'm like, if I see a flaw, and the whole point of reading and shade is, when somebody goes and shades you, you pull every little trick you can out of your book, out of the little handbook, the reading and shade handbook. I know there is one, but there is one, but there isn't one. There's not a physical book, but it's a book that we know exists. And the people who are the good readers and roasters will come and they will teach you the ways of, being a roast Jedi, which is what I learned from a lot of the older gays and a lot of the older gays who took me up under their wing and showed me, the ways of the world and how to navigate through being in this, because we don't have that. We don't have our actual family members that could teach you how to watch out for all the things that goes on within our community. So luckily I've had a lot of those older gays who came and took me up under their wing and showed me the ways of the Jedi. But anyway, so I don't think that he was wrong. I know a lot of people, we're in a generation now where everybody's sensitive and you can't say anything remotely negative about people because, you can't make fun of this. You can't make fun. Everybody wants to be politically correct. That's not my judge. That's not my generation. I came before the roast, I came before the whole PC situation. So if you're going to come for me and throw shade in my direction, I'm going to look at you. I'm going to do some little research and I'm going to drag you, because that's just the way of the game. That's just what we do. It's in our nature. It's in our blood. So, and the worst part was, didn't he release that walk song on National Coming Out Day? So I don't know if the video is going to play, but yeah, Roland Ray went and had something to say about the situation. And he said, and you ain't have to acknowledge me. You could have kept scrolling or kept rolling. I don't know why you keep trying to get into it with me on the internet. It's never going to happen. We are not the same at all. So yeah, Saucy Santana is going back. You ain't even have to, yeah. And he called him a big body Rick Ross, baby cunt looking bitch. Even in the video, he was sitting there trying to laugh at his own jokes. And I'm like, first of all, no shade. But why the heck does Roland Ray, when he talks, sound like a cross between Miles Mabley and Maya Angelou after he's had a couple of mojitos? That's what he sounds like when he talks. And I understand people have their disabilities or whatever, but if you're going to get into the ring with somebody and roast and gag them, you cannot be mad when I see a flaw or a situation. And I know him being in a wheelchair is obvious. But there's other things that you can come at them for too, and hit the obvious. So if you hit the obvious and you got some good funny reads to go along with the disability, then you could do the same thing with other flaws. That's the way that we learn in regards of, roasting and gagging bitches. So I don't know. That's all I got to say on that. So I don't know if, and shout out to EJ Parker, who is on the production, bringing up all the little tweets and the back and forth fights and all that other stuff that's going on with them. And I guess this is good for business. And look, Saucy Santana got his own reality show coming. So I shout out to the Jasmine brand for this tea. So Saucy Santana has allegedly landed himself his own reality show. The series will reportedly air on the Zeus network, and according to a close source. So Saucy is a rapper, in case y'all don't know, is based out in Florida and is known for his saucy personality on social media. And he also made an appearance, I believe, last season on Love and Hip Hop Miami. And I heard that Mona Scott really wanted him to be a part of Love and Hip Hop. And you want to know something? Good for him. I'm glad that he actually took this opportunity. He's gone viral. He's basically out here doing, making his own way. And he decided to partner up with Zeus. Now, Black China has a reality show with Zeus too. And I got some tea on Black China. And, the fact that apparently she, didn't do a background check on her man because her man is in a relationship with another man or was in a relationship with another man. So this is almost this situation kind of mimics, who's the one that looked like a corpse? The makeup guru? Oh my God, I totally forgot her name. The white one, the white queen. And he was in a relationship with him and then moved on to Bobby Lights and they did a sex video. Jeffree Star. I don't know how I forgot his name. And now Jeffree Star here talking about he want to do porn. Give me a second as I try to keep my food down. And that monster drink I had before I came on the show. Because just the thought of seeing the corpse bride getting her back blown out on camera. Child, that's just that can 2020 end already? I don't need to go into my 2021 still in hell. But yeah, we have the video of the love child of Moms Mabley and Maya Angelou going in and letting have on Miss Saucy. or trying to. Wait, we need audio. Okay, so yeah, we're still. It's the one thing about Restream that we're still trying to work on is getting these audios, these videos to be playing as they should. But yeah, so it was funny. Like he went and he tried to roast him and was talking about that he got bad liposuction and started laughing at his own little read. And I'm like, okay, if you gotta laugh at your own damn read, it ain't a read. You know, a lot of comedians do that too when they think they funny, like Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish, two of the most unfunniest people in black comedy. But white people love them. Yeah, I said what I said, and I don't care. So shout out to Saucy. Kudos to him for getting the opportunity to get his own show. And it said, and remember, there was the whole. I think the reason why he got on, or I don't know if it happened at the time or Mona saw an opportunity and went along with it. Like, him being shot with two other passengers in the car after he went to a Miami club. And I talked about that on my radio show. Then he talked about it on Angela Yee's lip service. So Saucy's definitely out here making his way. And I love the fact that he's decided to come aboard and do his own thing, his own way, without jumping on Mona Scott. Because why does this cap? What I have to say is, why it's great that you're doing your own thing. Don't sign yourself to her and that Love and Hip Hop. Because to me, one of the things I've always found problematic about Love and Hip Hop is the fact that, yes, you have these gays that's on your show. You have opportunities to make something so entertaining with gay people. And I really want to see queer people, especially queer people of color, on reality TV, because we could turn it up. I've auditioned and I made it on World of Wonder was doing called Fire Island that I auditioned for and get on that. So there's been a lot of things that have been in the workings for a long time. And we all saw what those reality shows were when they finally popped up. But yeah, to me, it's like we're entertaining. We could definitely bring it, but network television doesn't want to give us these opportunities. And now we're at a point we don't even need network TV anymore. There's so many streaming services out here that we can have those opportunities. And I'm glad that he's carving his own way, because I feel like if he would have continued with Love and Hip Hop, what would have happened was he would have just ended up being a caricature, a sidekick to the women that's on the show who aren't that interesting, or an accessory, which is what a lot of openly gay people have resorted to on a lot of these shows, from Basketball Wives to Love and Hip Hop. We could put in there Jonathan ain't where's his storyline besides him being attached to these girls and getting all up in their business with they men. And mind you, remember when he had that relationship with Trent Cruz? You ain't had a man since then, but now you all up in everybody else's business, trying to act like you were younger, trying to fix people's life or being messy. And then you have like Bobby Lights. Well, I love me some Bobby Lights. He really had no storyline last season on Love and Hip Hop Miami. So clearly, with him being with Jeffree Star's ex, because I don't even think that was a relationship. I think that was just something where he tried to act like he wasn't racist. So let me just hook up with this black boy and show you, oh, I'm not racist. If I pay him a little coin and have him pretending that he's my man, then I can have that. But then you try to spin this narrative of him stealing from you, which I don't think he did at all. I think that was just Jeffrey being Jeffrey and showing his true colors, that he's a freaking racist. And I still believe it. So yeah, and then now I think because Bobby Lights is with Jeffree Star's ex, he got a storyline for Love and Hip Hop Miami. So whatever works for you, works for you. But I like the fact that Saucy is doing it his own way. So on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Black China. He's interested in stuff like that. That's cute. But yeah, I'm going to give my thoughts on that. So don't go away. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with that story on the Line. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to On the Line. Well, yeah, I want to bring up something really quick. So, yeah, we did talk a bit about. There was another video I did before this one. YouTube did live streaming. It's going to show up later. In a previous video, I talked a bit about there was some breaking news that came out about Ashanti. Having to postpone, or she was trying to figure out how they're going to do the versus battle that's supposed to be airing tonight with Keisha Cole, because apparently she says she came down with COVID. But the Jasmine brand is exclusively reporting that it's being postponed due to a COVID-related incident. So here's the tea. The Jasmine brand exclusively reports that the hashtag versus battle between Ashanti and Keisha Cole has allegedly been postponed. Sources tell us that a COVID-related incident involving Ashanti's team is allegedly the cause for postponing it. An announcement will be made later today. Full story on hashtag thejasminebrand.com. So shout out to them for that, because the Jasmine brand, Black Entertainment, you want to get some of the tea on there, definitely go over there and check it out. Keisha posted on about 28 minutes ago what's happening, and she put, "What's poppin'? Heart hashtag album 8." So she's working on her 8th album, but she ain't talking about this versus battle. But yeah, Ashanti's canceling. So hopefully, this is not just some excuse to get out of doing the versus battle. I hope that, she's okay, or whatever the case is. I need to know, I guess, I really need to know what's going on with all of this. We'll find out more as it develops. I'm like, is that the Jasmine brand story? Because I love being live, because that's the best thing about being live. For years, I have to say the best part of being live, especially when you do a weekend show, is that you could bring up a lot of celebrity stuff that's going on and break it before everybody else does. Because everybody is at the mercy of Monday through Friday doing those shows. But anyway, speaking of the Jasmine brand, there's a story that came out about Blac Chyna's man. Her new man. So Blac Chyna went all over social media yesterday to my, oh look, I got a new man. This, that, and the third. But still look like Lil Nas X with a perm. But yeah, so the reality star showed him off, and this was yesterday on her Instagram. But child didn't take long for another man on social media who said that Blac Chyna's alleged boyfriend, that they were in a relationship for 2 years. So at official meme our N-word done chose up for them light-skinned hoes, but don't know we still paid poppin' pretty. Another post put, and this is in the IG story, shout out to Jasmine Brand once again for this. He played his MF self, period. Don't MF play with my emotional ASS. Now you can have that, sis. And then also went on to say that Blac Chyna's watching, making sure I'm not posting our N-word, LMFAO. You see me at Blac Chyna. So now he's out here trolling Blac Chyna. He's also going to do a live at 8 p.m. to tell his truth. Well, child, when that whole truth come out in that clip and them videos, we definitely, oh my God, definitely need to get that, the audio. Because apparently now, until we go pro with restream and everything, they're giving us issues in regards of like playing videos and stuff. So we definitely going to work on that. I have no problem putting no coin up for this show. Like a lot of people, like when you love what you do and the passion is there, I would definitely put the money up. But I want to say this. This is messy. This is way more entertaining than the fact that she told me she got a man, because normally I wouldn't give a damn. But the fact of the matter is that she messing with a man who had a man at home. Shout out to Shantae Moore for that song. This is messy boots. And I'm thoroughly entertained. Y'all trying to get on Love and Hip Hop? Is that what you doing, girl? Or you need a storyline for your Zeus reality? Is Zeus still messing with Blac Chyna? Put me on. I don't know. But yeah, this is a mess. And I really don't understand. Like, well, you know what? She hasn't addressed the claims, but she did delete the photo. So clearly she was aware of maybe his indiscretions or his past, whatever the case was. and she just jumped on. This thing where I know a lot of people have a hard time believing, but a lot of times people link up for clout. And what is it? The need to have attention and that drug called fame is worse than any kind of drug that you could take. Meth, heroin, weed, whatever your case is, them drugs ain't nothing compared to that fame drug. And some people will do whatever they can to not only attain it, but maintain it. So China's in that same boat. Ain't nobody talking about her. She's not trending. She learned, look, anything she learned from them damn Kardashians, being with that family and fucking a brother and getting a baby out of him, was that when you latch onto things for clout, it gets you certain privileges. So yeah, while she talking about trying to move handing it up, that's not, the fact that Wendy roasted her a couple of weeks ago on her own show and throwing shade at her, talking about she homeless, that's not going to keep you trending. But going on and getting you somebody that look like Uncle Clifford and pretending that's your man because he got a couple of tattoos and wearing a wife beater. But like I said, giving you Uncle Clifford tease, that's gonna get you more attention than sitting up here with your fake boyfriend. Save the bullshit for love, the love and hip hop fake storylines and stuff. Because now you out here looking, in the words, well, as since we could bring up a little Ashanti, Foolish, her hit song, which I'm sure she would have played on the show tonight if the Versus battle was still going on. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to offer to this whole topic. To me, it's just like it's kind of sad. It's kind of pathetic that you got to be out here creating relationships for clout instead of using whatever little talent you have to keep yourself relevant. I guess out here endorsing things ain't enough for some of you hoes. But anyway, yeah, so I'm pretty much done with that. I know EJ is going to come in on our final segment, which is we're going to talk about a Big Brother star who's coming out as Bye Honey and how he got into a little entanglement with Frankie Grande because he's a big Brother fan. I have met Frankie Grande twice, so we'll talk about this whole situation and a whole lot more when we come back. So we're going to take a little short break and be back with more on the line. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to On the Line. And now, our final topic that we're going to get into is this one that I've been teasing y'all enough about. So, a Big Brother star by the name of Zach Rance has opened up about his bisexuality and even said that he hooked up with a fellow castmate. Now, Rance, who is 30 years old, went on YouTube to participate in a virtual conversation on the With Love Alexa and the Mental Health Collection channel on Tuesday. Rance said in the talk that he had only been attracted to women previously and considered himself straight, but that changed when he started getting close to Big Brother season 16 castmate Frankie Grande. He says, I fell in love with who he was as a person. While the pair were on the show, there had been commentary from viewers about the closeness of their relationship, or friendship, I should say. Super funny, super smart, good looking guy. As time went on, we got so close that I wasn't really sure if I had feelings for him or not. You know, I've always been straight, so it was never a thing to like guys. He also went on to say after the season ended, the two stayed close, and one night it led to a hookup. So yes, them two got entangled. He says he was the first guy that I ever hooked up with. After that night, I was very unsure about the direction of my sexuality because I like women. He says after we hooked up, I was very uncertain about what was my next move. Rance also said that after Grande, he hooked up with a guy he met at a photo shoot, but he still wasn't sure what label fit him. But I was about to say, now, if you done sucked a dick more than once, like, girl, you should know what the hell you went to. But he said he still wasn't sure what. Oh, yes, bitch. I live for this picture, the one he biting his ear. Now, the teasing and this and that. Wait, let me finish before I go into my whole. Shout out to Out Magazine for this story, by the way. He says that after Grande, well, I already said that, but he still wasn't sure what the label fit him best. He says, the more I thought about it, being with a guy, you know, making out is one thing, but doing more than making out with a guy is something that I just don't want to do, and I've never tried it. However, he says he definitely considers hooking up with men a good experience. I just want to come out and say that I enjoyed hooking up with Frankie, and the other guy I hooked up with, clearly I enjoyed it. Now Rand said he feels comfortable in his sexuality and calling himself bi. He says, I just wanted to come out and say that that and be and say I am bisexual, even though I do lean more towards heterosexuality.
Girl,
but he wants people to be more open-minded about his sexuality. So before I give my thoughts, what do you think about, because I know you were like watching this season like a hawk, and you have a better insight of this Big Brother season, but
child, this whole Big Brother dilemma is a hot mess.
Yeah, surprisingly, it wasn't Josh that came out from the challenge.
Right. I listen, those that watched the show like I did religiously, you knew something was up. And I'm happy for Zach that he found his true calling. Let's call it that.
Shout out to that show. I used to love that show with Eliza Dushku. That lasted 2 seasons of 5. But anyway, go ahead.
So I just think it's interesting. I love Frankie. You know, I love watching. You know, once I found out that Frankie was his Ariana Grande's brother, it just made me love him a little more because he was, you know, this vibrant pocket of rainbow, if you will, giving Big Brother hell, and he almost won that
with his sexuality.
Yes. And seeing Zach and him bond, I knew something was up. You know, they had a little bromance. And clearly after the show, they had a little something, and how you doing? Like, you know, I mean, but you could tell, look at this picture. Come on. The girls are giving face to face. Like, we knew something.
If you're doing all of that on a reality show, then clearly, I mean, whether or not it's a showmance, and we know plenty of shows that do that there are showmances, or when you get a lot of the feedback. On one hand, you love the attention because it's letting you go viral. And like I was talking about in the previous segment, how fame is this drug that's more addictive than any hardcore drug that you could take. Whatever. And I'm sure they were loving it, but I'm sure because Zach was still trying to figure out like navigate and try to figure out his own sexual or transgressions. I won't say indiscretion, but that makes it seem like it's a negative. When he's trying to figure out where he fits in the spectrum, So it's like the both sides, because you're thinking, oh my God, now I'm on TV. What does everybody think? And then you're like, but I'm loving the attention. But then I'm going to figure all this out off camera by hooking up with Frankie. And he says he enjoyed it. But shout out to Linnea Xavier, who's watching. He said, I always say after 3 goes at it with a guy, you're some degree gay. That's what I said. If you tried it, like, I can understand. Look, if you do it once, everybody has dabbled or whatever, kind of just tested things out, like made out with a guy or sucked a dick once. And if you realize I don't like it the first time, that's one thing. Second time is like, I'm not sure. Let me make sure that second time I really don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Then it's like, okay, I've figured it out. I don't like none of my ass. I don't like having sex with men. I like making out with guys. I like teasing guys. I like playing around with them. But I'm into girls. Like, I like the attention. I like fooling around with boys, and that's what it is. But if you start doing that shit the third time, okay, you a queen, bitch. Like you a card-carrying member of the Rainbow Coalition. You might as well just go get your Rainbow Coalition card and put it in your wallet with the rest of your debit and credit cards or whatever the case is, and just walk around like the proud gay that you are. So I don't want to put labels on things, but you're a card-carrying member of the Rainbow Coalition at that point. And to me, where he's saying like he's bi and he's trying to figure out like a label, maybe you don't need to put a label on it. You just like guys and you like girls. Why do we always have to put a label on things? Oh, I'm gender nonconform, I'm non-binary, and I'm this. Like, we don't have to put a label on things. Just be. Because I feel like at the end of the day, as human beings, we're attracted to, it's all about energy. And like if I'm energetically connecting to someone, being on an emotional level, or there's just something about this person's energy that's drawing me towards them, why do we have to put a label or we have to put a title on it? Why do we always have to do that? So shout out to Zach. And he's not the only person that, is a card-carrying member of the Rainbow Coalition that's on Big Brother. He's just, at least he came out and said something. He's cute too. Because
they're definitely hiring. I think that this is not going to be the last we hear of Zach. But to your notion, before we wrap this up, that I agree with you. I think that society put a lot of that on us, specifically as men. And I think lesbian women go through it as well. Especially when you're the more aggressive lesbians. I don't want to say dyke per se, but the aggressive ones, they have to balance, because you're a woman, you're supposed to be feminine. And I think a lot of it with men is that you're man, you're supposed to be masculine. And when you label yourself gay, even though we have a lot of under the spectrum under gay, I think a lot of people, they feel like their manhood is gone. And I think that's something he had to come to realization with, that just because you're out gay doesn't mean you're less of a man. Just because you love a company of a man and a woman right now doesn't make you less of a man, and white Caucasian Americans, they have their own issues and things that they got to deal with, depending where you're from, the Bible Belt or Middle America, they have their own issues to deal with. And so do we as people of color, Latinos, people of color, we have probably one of the hardest, coming out. But then you have, mostly Caucasians who are being forced in conversion therapy. And we don't know Zach's whole progression, but like I said, I saw it coming, honey. And shout out to you, Josh, girl. Yeah.
Who's on the current season of the challenge? Wait, who's his partner on it again?
I forgot, because now they're on.
Exactly. There's so many of them.
Yeah. But we got. I think you said you want to do a video on it, so maybe we'll follow up on that and give the tea.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely need to, because we both love the challenge, so we definitely need to talk about it. And it's funny how Lolo was like, oh, nobody wants to pair up with me. I'm like, bitch, did you not see the season you were on with Casper Smart and how you were on that season? I can see why nobody wants to pair with you. Like, I get that you're, a star and all this other stuff, and you're an athlete and one of the best in the game. But if that attitude is a little stinker, dang, nobody cares about your accolades. But I don't want to get on a rant and talk about the challenge. Like we said, we're gonna save that for another video. But yeah, so I think that's all we have to say on this topic. So yes, thank you all for watching yet again on the line. Tune in whenever something drops, we just pop up on the line and just speak on it. So there's no exact day that we're on. It just a bunch of videos that I just put out there, and it pops up. It's a short form video. It is what it is. So thank you all for watching. Also, thank you, EJ, for popping in and doing all the production and stuff on this show and helping out. So love you all for watching. Until next time. Ciao, darlings.